Dave was an exceptional driver for 25 years for someone else's trucking company. During that time, he learned all of the ins and outs of the trucking business. Dave saved up a small nest egg over those years and finally decided to open his own trucking company. Smart Dave. Dave hired 3 top-notch owner-operators to drive for his new company. He stayed in the office as the dispatcher and, most importantly, spent most of his time finding profitable freight loads to keep all 3 of his new drivers busy and happy. Dave worked hard and found good-paying loads for all of his drivers. Of course, right from the start, all of them needed money for fuel to get from the shipper to the destination. That is fine though. That's what Dave saved his nest egg for. As expected, Dave's drivers did an excellent job and picked up and delivered their first loads of freight on time and without damage. Dave's agreement with his drivers was that they would get paid within 1 business day of getting him the original, signed delivery paperwork for each load. Dave then submits the signed delivery paperwork to his customer for them to pay his company. All of this was working great for a few weeks, until Dave noticed one day that his savings was depleting quickly. He was doing everything properly, but his customers were not paying him for 30, 40, or even 50 plus days after they received the signed delivery paperwork. He actually even had some unscrupulous brokers refuse to pay for well over 60 days. Dave was close to not having enough money to pay for his drivers' fuel for their next loads that needed picked up. He was being pinched from both ends. Luckily, Dave got a hold of CJM Financial. They have been in the truck factoring business for over 20 years and knew exactly what assistance Dave needed to not only keep his company above the water, but what he needed for his business to succeed and be profitable. CJM immediately was able to give Dave's company a much-needed influx of cash by providing fuel advances for up to 50% of the load amount. CJM then paid Dave immediately for the completed freight loads, so he could in turn pay his drivers quickly. Dave's cash flow problems were over. But the value CJM added to Dave's company didn't stop there. Free of charge, CJM gave Dave 24-hour online access to credit checks. Dave can now tell at a glance if a potential company is someone he wants to work with or not. Goodbye, unscrupulous customer. In addition, CJM now handles all of the collections for Dave's account, leaving him more time to concentrate on finding profitable freight loads for his drivers, or add more drivers to grow his business. CJM also provided Dave's company with personalized fuel cards that give him big discounts at the pump, along with an easy way for him to control and track his drivers' purchases. Dave is now successful and on his way to making his thriving company as big as he chooses. His partnership with CJM immediately freed up the cash that his customers were holding, and then gave him access to tools and services that further increased his company's profitability. Like we said in the beginning, Smart Dave.